Good morning.
Hello.
Sun is shining. It's not snowing. I'm so happy.
I know it was so much of a glare that I'm like, let me adjust this a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, hello everybody, and we actually have Instagram on this morning. So if you want to see the amount of comments already just from hellos, hop over to the Goddess Elite Instagram, and you can see what my screen looks like.
Oh, jeez. Okay, then.
Let me see here. So we have Amanda saying hello. Cindy, a lot of our regular friends that come in.
Yeah, right.
Could you
Oh, and
imagine?
I have to tell you, I got a letter from Jordan from Delaware. She was
Oh,
on our last Wednesday morning. Apparently, we did work for her on Zoom, and she was very happy with all of that. And she's the one that asked on Wednesday that she needed an intuitive to try to find her dead mother's ring. And remember, told her, Tony, look around.
hmm,
She wrote me a letter, and
it works.
she got the next day. She found the ring someplace where she never would have thought to look, and Tony came through. So thanks for your letter. It was a really good letter. I enjoyed it. So
Oh, well, we have our first question
okay.
from Amanda. It says, I'm worried about possession. How come you can't tell there's someone else in your body?
Okay, there's two different, there's the walk in where your spirit actually leaves and some other spirit comes in. Uh, but a possession of the kind you're talking about, I think sometimes there are some people that ask for that for extra help. That's usually people that practice more of the dark stuff than, the more dark than light. Um, it's very hard to get a possession. I mean, it's not something I see on a regular basis at all. And a lot of possessions are got when you are totally unconscious. Those are the ones that people don't know. So all of a sudden, you love strawberries your whole life. Now you have a possession and then you look at them and you want to gag. Why? If somebody notices this, you'll notice that more a lot with uh, people that just seem confused a lot because it's like, I don't understand. They're fighting within themselves. They can be removed, but it's really hard to do.
Mm. Let's see. So, for all of our new friends joining us, feel free to ask questions in comments or chat, depending on what platform you're on. Can be about earthbound spirits, some possession work, like you just heard, um, what portals, negative energies, some fairies. I mean, Marianne, you cover so much stuff. Um, Amanda says, Marianne said, if you don't ask for it, you probably won't know you are possessed.
And I can't tell just by looking at a person. I really have to be in the same room with the person before I can actually tell if there's a possession. It's like I said, it's very very difficult, um, and I refer a lot of those to you know a priest or something like that. They're actually more suited for that than I am. And the thing is this: don't get that confused. You're not being possessed by the devil. You're just, well, not the ones that ask for it may have something negative like that. But the regular people that get a possession, they're just regular people that died that scooted into your body. They're not the devil, so don't even go there.
Okay. Evangela is asking if you can share a possession story.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I have to be careful. Yeah, I'll think of one that maybe we can share sometime. Not today, because I have to go through and because, like I says, they're far and few between. I remember the gist of it, but not the whole thing. So, yeah, we'll find it. I'll find it for you.
Okay. And then here's a good thing to consider. Split personality is probably possession.
It could be, but like Sybil, remember that, with all the what she have, all those personalities. That could be a mental illness though also. So it's very hard to diagnose that sometimes.
I was just actually watching a documentary on that young man. I cannot remember his name, but he went to OSU and he had something like 27 personalities. And they were really going through trying to prove whether or not he was faking it or not. In just all of the doctors, and trying to go through with that. And,
See, I would question that right off the top of my head. How can one person there that would nowhere be possessions? I mean, your body can barely hold your own and one other, let alone a crowd. So I would have to say if they didn't find that to be him trying to trick people, then he's definitely, in my opinion, got a mental illness. See, that's why I recommend anybody that has to be knocked out for surgery, put under anesthesia, if you have to be out for 10 minutes having the tooth extracted, have your seat on you because at least nothing's going to get in you while you're out cold.
No, it was Ohio State, not Oregon. Because we here in Ohio it's like Ohio and Florida seems to have the crazy people, and I don't
Oh
know why.
yeah, I I will argue that someday you can sit here and read all the letters I get from other states other than Ohio and Florida.
Yes.
There's nuts everywhere.
Joan asks or says, "Hi, never knew my dad. One night I had a dream of my late mom, and she introduced me to my dad. Did I really meet him?"
Absolutely, positively. And that's the thing when you remember your dreams and somebody comes in your dream that you don't recognize, you can ask, "Who are you? Do I know you?" People have met their great, 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 great grandparents that way. So, yeah, no, you absolutely.
Lab asks, "Can ghosts live underwater, like for example on sunken ships?"
Who are they going to get energy from? Nobody. The fish? No. So, no, I've never seen anybody there.
Brooke says she can confirm the crazy flourishes in Florida.
See, I wonder how much of that has to do with an age thing. Just saying.
Right. I just think about like the zombie people eating the bath salts and attacking people down in Florida. And um,
There was somebody that I knew up here that was on bath salts, a young, really nice young guy. And
oh,
oh, that is terrible trying to get him
off of
back.
that.
Oh, that's a terrible thing.
So Melanie, back to like the personality disorders, says satanic ritual abuse splits people's personalities. They do it to people on purpose.
No, no. See, what they're asking for is power. And they're asking anybody to help give them power. And that's why those are usually negative entities that will, go into that kind of a situation, not a normal person walking down the street. No.
Let's see. Mimi says, "Good morning. Can an earthbound spirit receive energy from people in a room laughing?"
Yes, they sure can. And when comedy clubs were the thing, those were always full of, ghosts, earthbound spirits. But in a house, it's easier to get the energy by causing trouble. It's easier to get people angry if you break their furnace or you mess with the plumbing than it is. They're not going to sit there and tickle you so you giggle. So that's why it's more problematic than happy. Now, not that they don't show up at parties, where everybody's having a good time, of course. But for the every regular mundane day, no, it's easier to break things than, get up in the middle of the night to get a glass of water and your freezer door's wide open. You went to bed with your freezer door open? No, but you ruined all the food in the freezer. Now, that didn't make you smile, but it sure gave you enough energy because you were angry. So,
So we have a question from Instagram. It says, if you know someone who is spiritual, who appears in your dreams and disappears suddenly, plus you cannot find them in real life, what does that mean?
they don't want to see you? I don't know.
Kind of sounds like an astral travel. Maybe they're coming from,
See, I don't understand. Is this person alive and she can't find them, or is it earthbound, or is it spirit and she can't find them?
The way it's phrased, it sounds like they're spiritual, so they're still alive.
Well, then
Astral travel.
and it could be astro traveling. That's the possibility. Yeah.
Could be a guide coming in too, especially if you.
Yeah. Right.
So yes, on Friends Wealth Instagram, keep asking questions. We'll read them out to you. I can't show them on the screen because you're on a different device than the rest. Eugene asked, why is it that some spirits speak to you in dreams and others you can't hear them when they speak?
I don't know. I know this, and I finally figured this out maybe about 6-7 months ago. When I tell people you can talk to your relatives in dreams, I hear that so often. I dream about it, but they won't speak to me. I figured it out. You have to start speaking first. If you don't start speaking, they don't either. So even just say hi and see if that doesn't start the conversation going. It's almost like they're waiting for you to acknowledge that they're really there, and by saying hi or hello or oh my gosh it's you, then they'll start talking. So try starting the talking first. There's some people that talk all day long. They talk to their cupboards. They just talk all day long. You probably don't have to say hi to them first, but people, yeah, but 99% of the people are going to wait for you to say something first.
So a clarification for Instagram says that they know this person. So I'm going to lean towards that is more of an astral projectant. And
it could be. Right.
Let's see, Gina. I spoke with you on Zoom on Monday. I was very curious how you picked up my twin sister's name and also her ex-boyfriend's name. Did an Earthbound tell you? If so, do you know who it was and why?
I got the information from whoever was there. And you have to remember, we were on Monday. There was a huge pink full moon on Saturday. So a lot of ghosts that were picked up on Zoom, I could get information from them because of the extra energy that they had. Just like at the end of the month on the new moon, that's an eclipse. So they're going to have a whole lot more energy then too. So that's how that worked, but I can't remember. When I'm done, I'm done.
Mary says, my aunt passed, and for 2 months, my kitchen light over the sink would blow out several times a day. We changed out the outlet, and still the same. Had an electrician, and he said we did everything he would have, and as fast as it started, it stopped. I'm thinking it was my aunt.
See, I would have no way of knowing without a phone call from your house if that, however, or on Zoom. But why would somebody that come in your house and cause problems? I can understand when you're in the car and a radio flips over and it's a song that reminds you of somebody, or you have a touch lamp in your bedroom and before you go to bed at night, it blinks, something like that. I can understand that, but why would your aunt want you to spend money and try to fix something that obviously isn't broken? So I would think it's not your aunt.
Right. Well, yeah, and back to Instagram here says his name is Joseph, and I hope I'll be in contact with him again. And I mean, maybe you should try astral projecting to him. Making the effort, and maybe you guys can communicate a little more. Set the intention.
Yeah, you could try it. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can try that's safe, and it'll be, you don't
Mhm.
know what you're going to find out.
Let's see. Oh my God! For once, like either there's a lag in questions coming in, but I'm caught
Oh
up.
my gosh, you're caught up. Okay,
Wait,
good for
here comes
you.
Jordan. Here comes Jordan. Do Earthbounds always want to give their names?
Not particularly. And a lot of times I get, oh, this is the gal that found the ring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, pretty sure that's her. And I want to thank her again for her great letter and everything in it. But sometimes they do, sometimes they want people to know who they are. Sometimes they want to, pass on information, but it's their choice. Remember, they have the same personality they had when they were alive. So,
right. Sometimes they're not always the best people to get information from until they've crossed over and they've done some spiritual work.
exactly right.
Just making sure I haven't missed anything.
For those of you that are George Nori fans, coast to coast, I will be on at the end of the month. The show starts in Los Angeles at 10 p.m. However, here in our area, Eastern Time, I will be on from 1 to 3 a.m. on Saturday the 30th. And it'll be on my website. I forget who they have to. Do you remember where they have to listen, how they have to listen to that, to Coast to Coast?
On the radio or online?
Radio.
1100 AM.
1100 a.m. is the radio. And they do tape it. But I don't know if you have to be a member of George's group to hear it.
mm,
I don't know if, because seriously, I don't listen to Coast to Coast. I'm sleeping. I'm not up in the middle of the night. Sorry.
If I'm up late driving, going to shows, it's the only time. And then
Yeah.
you got to find it wherever state you're in and hope that it's there.
True. I mean, truck drivers have to absolutely love him. So,
Mhm. So Swifty, she asked the question a little bit back, and I found it. It says, "Is there any point to smudging a hoarder's house when you can't get to all the areas that need smudging?"
nope, don't even bother. Because the one closet that you did not get smoke in is where they're hiding. So don't waste your time. If you can't get to every spot, it's truly not worth it.
Let's see. Oh, Mimi's going to join us in June at the Madison Seminary. Yay.
Good.
Yay. We got some last other people coming in. Westy says, "I would like to write a letter. If you don't read it on Wednesday afternoon show, will you respond back by mail?"
Yes, I will. I just have a stack of letters here that are ready to go out. Some people just write and want questions answered, and they don't want them brought out on something like this. And yep, I sure do. I will get back to you one way or the other.
And Eugene asks, "What's your view on crystals? Do they really work?"
I'm not the person to ask that question to.
Well, in a way, because I mean, you use moonstone for some things.
Yes, yeah, I do.
And
those little blue stones I use for something.
Oh, your blue aventurine for Mercury retrograde if you buy into the whole retrograde thing.
That's right. That's coming up, just so you know. But yeah.
Always coming up. It's Mercury.
Yeah. There's some that I rely on. Some that will help in a yard outside, to keep them out of the yard. it's hit and miss, but you see it more, Melissa, because people come in for sicknesses, for love, for money. I mean, people come in for all kinds of different things.
Right.
So, and you would know more what they are supposed to be geared for. I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't
one
know.
of my favorite examples is lepidolite for calming anxiety, stress, tension. And it was like, oh, they don't work. And I'm like, really? Because what makes it purple is lithium. And that's why when you work and hold that stone, you start to relax a little bit because there's lithium in the stone. So there are chemical components. So if you want to just look at it scientifically, why some of these work the way they do, not
Okay, so
just energy.
properties in them could affect how. Okay, you don't see that I didn't even know. Okay,
Mhm.
pretty
And
cool.
that's why, for one person, one stone might work for a certain reason, but somebody else, it's a different stone. It's because we are chemically different than one another, and so are stones. So it's kind of like Tylenol works for you, but Aleve works for me.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, pretty cool.
So um, let's see. Karen says your reactions are the best. I love sitting back at some of your events and watching the eye roll. And I'm like, I will perfect that eye roll one day. I'm like, oh, they done
I
kicked her
don't
off.
even know I'm doing it. I just do it.
Like, calm the face.
Yeah, right. It's like stop.
Amanda asks, can Earthbounds physically harm you? I read a testimony of a woman from England that claims she was sexually assaulted by a ghost.
So there are some weird ghosts out there that are very sexually that's their thing. They're called incubuses and succubuses. And I've run across them a couple of times. Um I will tell you a story of one because I thought it was very strange. A lady came to me. Her husband had called and said, my wife is having an affair with the ghost. Can I bring her to see you?" And I'm thinking, okay, here we go. And so I said, well, why don't we try this, and this first? And none of that worked. So I met with them, and they both came into this office that I was using at the time. And he's saying after she had their daughter, she refused to have sex with him anymore. And then she finally started telling him that she was happier with, she gave him some name, I'll call him Bob, I don't know. And she really liked Bob better. And the husband said, how am I supposed to fight somebody I can't see? So I thought, okay, so I made him leave the office so I could just talk to her. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember saying to her, really? And the ghost was there. Well, Bob the ghost was there. And he the whole time the couple's talking to me, the ghost is telling me, she's never going to give me up because we have a good time. And I'm thinking, oh, this is really happening. And I mean, it's not unusual to get people say they're laying on top of me. I can't move. My wrists are pinned down. I have black and blue marks, just dots from fingerprints on my arms or other places on the body. So their energy. They can leave marks. And I said to her, seriously, I said, how long do you think your husband's going to put up with this? She says, well, I love him, but I just don't want to get intimate with my husband. I want to keep Bob. And I said, well, I don't see why your husband would put up with that. And see, I got a rule. When I go to do a house, before it's time to get rid of the ghost, I always ask a homeowner, do you want your ghost to go? If they say no, I don't make the white light. It's your house. Now, I'm not saying that on my way out, I won't say go to a funeral home that has the service going on and leave if you want to, but
Mm-hmm.
I won't do it. And she says, no, I want to keep him. And I says, I'm really curious. I said, you get everything from a ghost that you got from your husband. I'm trying to be so politically correct here. And she said, yes, everything. And then she made a comment. Oh, that's gross. I won't say what she said. But she said, and so finally, I guess I talked her into it and she let me let him go. And they went to counseling. And about 5 years later, I heard from him, and their marriage was fine again. And they had another kid at this point. But it was all when she's the only thing is, she says, the biggest difference was it's so much less mess having a relation with a ghost than it is a live person. Take that for whatever you think that's worth, and we'll let it go. And so, yeah, but your normal ghosts are usually just perverts, and they're going to touch. They're not going to go all the way.
Well, now.
You know,
Lisa, this is the only thing I could think of when you mentioned Bob is battery operated boyfriend.
well, yeah, and that was something so out of my radar screen that many years ago that would have been the last thing I would have thought about.
And I think Amanda's like, I'm dropping dead.
Well, yeah,
Me too.
but see, you have to agree to that part of it. I mean, if you're going to go all the way, you have to say yes. Yeah.
I was like, what a morning convo.
That's right.
We crossed a whole new line on this one.
Right,
It took us a couple years. We got there.
Lent's over. We're good. You just say a little prayer now. We're good. Oh my God.
And there
I
you
have
go.
a weird life. You know, how am I supposed to sit across the table from people and keep a straight face?
See,
It's
this is
so
a story
hard.
that you put on the podcast.
It's,
Oh,
God.
man.
I can remember some lady. I have a thing. I can, when little children, and we're children people, so that has nothing to do with it. But when little children, like, I really like it when they're like 10 or 12, and they're messing around in a restaurant, and the parents are totally oblivious to everything that this child is doing, opening up all the sugar packs and sticking them in their mouth and opening up all the little cups and drinking out of them for the cream. It's like, that just makes me crazy. And if I get their attention and look at them, oh boy, they stop whatever they're doing. And so Tara, my daughter, called me one day. She goes, I figured out how to do the eye thing. She says, I got a kid to cry in the restaurant. I went, Tara, don't do it that hard where they're crying. So
well, now we have requests in chat of people who are like, I want so-and-so to come see me.
yeah, well, put it on your list, I guess considering my age, I'd say Cary Grant, there were people I would look for.
Right. We have a question on Instagram that wants to know what your opinion is for the best spiritual bath for protection.
For protection for what?
Just like a spiritual bath to take for protection.
Sea salt. Absolutely. A couple tablespoons of sea salt in your bath water, soak in it. Blessed sea salt is even stronger, or the blessed sea salt soap works too, but sea salt works the best. And it's not anything weird, because bath salts that you can put in the water are made with sea salt. So you're just doing right what you're supposed to be doing.
You're right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Try to get this back on track.
Yeah, please.
Let's get back to PG.
Right.
Here's Jeff. Jeff says, I found that spirits like to implant symbols as a means of communicating an idea or something important. Have you encountered this before?
Well, This will open another can of worms. Not from ghosts, but the implants from aliens, absolutely.
And they are not fun visitors.
No. So that they definitely, anybody that they've taken and did any experiences on, all have something implanted. They know where every one of those people are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here we go. Oh, I can hear it now. Here it comes. Shoot.
all over the glass. We were like, just to say hi. Uh-huh.
No, it's not just to say hi.
The evangelist says that she would love to see or hear, not see, more of your alien stories, and maybe that could be some podcasting too.
Yeah, because there are there definitely are alien stories.
And we still need to record some of your rejected recipe stories. So the stories that were good, but the recipes didn't hold up in the continual testing for the cookbook.
Yeah, I gotta find more than the possum and the raccoon recipes, though.
The rat.
Oh,
Got out of West Virginia.
pretty much Alabama.
Same difference.
Right.
So for some of our new friends that are joining on Instagram, feel free to ask questions in the comments and we'll read them out loud, get you some answers. And Evangelist said also more what the story.
I know. I keep looking at them. The stack isn't quite high enough yet to do one, but I know.
Dawn asked, can you tell when you talk to someone if they had an alien encounter?
If I can talk to them on the telephone, I can, because when somebody has little folk in their house, there's a certain sound I can hear. And when there's alien activity on the property, I can hear it's a different high-pitched noise. I can't, it's weird. I can't do it if I'm standing in their house, but on the phone I can. And I have no idea why.
Now, I know you, and you hold pretty hard and fast to the rule that even if you're not going to say something unless somebody asks you. So I know when I came back from Tucson last year and was having problems, I think I talked to you once or twice before I said something or asked you. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Because I'm like, what the heck? So as much as I love Tucson, like that trip was not fun on the way back.
Right. And there is a particular hospital in the Cleveland area where a bunch of the anesthesiologists go to Wyoming, and I don't know what you shoot in Wyoming. I don't know what they're after. There's some kind of hunting, bonding, get drunk every night thing. And the first year that I was involved, there were 2 doctors and 6 anesthesiologists, I think, involved. 3 of them came home with aliens. And so after that, I mean, that was a pretty common thing. And there's no way, there's nothing to protect you from that. Quincy isn't going to stop anything. Just doesn't stop you from the little folk. So they are more, it seems like they're more in open spaces. Now, I'm not saying Ohio isn't full. Lorain County has got a lot of alien stuff going on. But out Wyoming, pardon?
I was going to say, and having lived in Lorain County for, like, I would never see a thing. But yet let me go to Tucson, having gone there for years, and it was finally last year, so I'm like, what was so different that they took notice?
Maybe they weren't around when you were the last time. This time they were there. They're not in every house on every street. So it's got to be when you collide, if there's something that they think they need from you, they'll follow you.
Be like,
Yeah,
You don't see me. We are not the people you were looking for.
that's right, right.
Renee says, do ghosts ever look for you after they die to relay messages to their loved ones?
I can't believe, Renee, you are asking me that question. That's a question that is somebody asked on the YouTube tonight. Same identical
What?
questions. But
What?
you're good, Renee. You're good. Um, no, they don't ask me to do anything unless I'm working for the police or some law enforcement agency. Yeah, then they want stuff, told. But in a normal house, unless something bad happened to them that they want somebody to be contacted, and and the homeowner will ask, should I contact their relatives? And before I can even say no, the ghost will go, oh, please, no. They think I'm in heaven. Don't upset them. They wouldn't believe you anyway. So, yeah, no, they really don't. Like I said, unless I'm involved with law enforcement, those are the ones that want messages sent out. This is who killed me, that type of thing.
So this next question I'm going to put up is going to relate into some comments in Instagram as well. Nadia says, do you find that truly religious or spiritual people are somehow protected from these entities? And I would say maybe aliens and ghosts. Because Instagram has kind of like follow-up says, I think praying can stop them, plus using crystals.
I have never seen, praying is positive energy, but positive energy is not going to stop an alien or little folk. It will help against earthbound spirits a little bit, but not aliens. And I'm Catholic, believe me. I know how this works, but it does not help against aliens and little folk. I'm sorry.
Now, do you know of any crystals that help keep little folk at bay or away or out of your yard?
The only thing that I know that works 100%, and I won't even say 100, I'd say 90%, and I don't know why it works. Oh, geez. How many people have ever heard the Loch Ness monster in Scotland?
Ooh, me.
Okay,
How many people are raising their hands at their computer screen?
right. So years ago, I did work for somebody from Scotland, and they truly believe that the Loch Ness monster does exist, that it's actually alien. And so, I mean, everybody thinks is the grays with the big heads and the almond shaped eyes and the long arms. And apparently, depending on what part of the galaxy they're from, they can look like anything. So she brought me a bunch of very weird looking stones, not crystals, stones. And it turns out that these stones, they're so oddly shaped. And I don't know if Ted knows where they are in the office. In the hutch, there's a glass jar with water of those.
I'm looking to see if I have mine close by.
Pardon?
So I'm looking to see if I have mine close by.
Yeah, and they start. This person from Scotland tried to tell me that these were actually nibs, break-offs off the Loch Ness monster. His wife tried to tell me she thought they looked like toenails. People just don't know. So anyway, what I found out in a longabout way is that aliens don't like these stones at all. And that is one way to absolutely keep aliens away from you, is if you have one of these stones. And there's only so many of them that I have, and I keep them in water. and I found out that the water has some benefit too. The water will work too. He's not going to be able to find him. And
So we can talk about knocking things over.
yeah, maybe you can find yours. So yeah, after Wyoming, I gave Melissa one to make sure to keep aliens away from her. I have maybe. Oh, did you find him? He did. Great.
Raise head.
I got him. Yeah. Ted, hang me a pair of tongs. I don't want to stick my fingers in this. But you can see, let me pull one out of here. I've got six or seven of them.
I know, Sandy. We all need to go to Scotland.
Yeah. Apparently, thank you. Apparently, you can find these on the beach of Loch Ness. They're very, I mean, this one is more pointed.
Unfortunately, guys, I do not have these at Goddess Elite yet. I need to go to Scotland.
That's your next stop because I can't get any more. And I'm afraid just to keep adding water to this. Well, in my thinking, I'm thinking if I keep adding water to this, the energy from the stones will affect the water. And if somebody needs it really, really bad, I could give them a little bottle of the water to use and keeping the, sometimes I just don't know what to do. I mean, I'm actually a pretty normal person, and I really don't know what to do.
Sure.
They just have weird things happen to them. That's all.
Oh, Karen says she's going to Scotland. How does she get them through security?
I don't think that rocks have anything to do with anything. Or why don't you get a box of them and ship them home? Why bring them on an airplane?
Right. I will tell you, do not wrap your stones in the blue mechanical towels. Because apparently airport security machines can't see through those and they will think they're explosives. Oh,
great.
I may or may not have been snapped in Florida for this. Going to come home from a show. That was a fun trip. Let's see. Can aliens move things around like ghosts in the Fae?
I don't believe so. I don't think that they are more inclined to take the body. They don't care about the things. And they don't seem to break things. They really don't want you to know that they've even been there. And the best way, I mean, it's when you just, you were watching TV, you took a snooze, you thought you fell asleep, you get up and here you were sleeping for 3 hours. You lost track of time. That's usually how it starts with people knowing. Now, there's a lady that I know that if you've got a probe in you from an alien, she knows how to remove them. I don't know how to do that. I don't even know how to find them. But this lady that there is a lady that knows how to do. There were two. The one died. There's only one lady left. There were three. One died. One has Alzheimer's, and there's one left. But she can do that. She can remove. But it's people have some weird abilities. Everybody's got some ability. You just have to figure out what yours is.
Mm. Oh, good point, Amanda. It's like, isn't Lewis in the UK? Let's have him go grab some import-export business.
Oh, that's a good idea for him. Right.
Lewis, somebody go find Lewis. We need him on.
I don't know how close England is to Scotland, though.
True, but he's closer than we are.
That's true.
We will pay the boy through school.
That's right.
Um, so there was the question, where is it? Somebody was asking if the Loch Ness is a different kind of alien that is, rejects the other aliens.
Yeah, it's almost like it's, different people. There you go. Somebody told me that they thought the Loch Ness monster was keeping Earth for their species. So they that's why this stuff works. I don't know. I don't talk alien. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, then that begs the question how there's other lake monsters, because there's the theories that there's all these underground waters and it's the same one. There's
people have seen it in Lake Erie, in the Great Lakes. So I believe there's probably some truth to that. That there's oh gosh, here we go. What's this?
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, so there's probably some truth to that, but I've seen pictures, and even the Lake Erie sea monster looks very similar to a Loch Ness monster, according to the pictures. So I don't know.
If my phone wasn't being used for Instagram, I would go pull up this picture and this meme, because my friend Kayla in New York shared this the other day. And the whole time I've been thinking about this. And then here comes Nadia, who says, fun fact, the Kraken is just a whale pee-pee sighting. So they put up a picture of Loch Ness next to whales in, mating season. And when they breach and it looks like that, they're like, the Loch Ness is just a whale penis.
We just can't get off that subject today, can we?
I'm like, I was the whole time.
This is it. Enjoy it, because this is never going to happen again on this.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge. Karen says we need to do a Loch Ness hunt in Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Well,
the Loch Ness monster has never been, nobody has ever reported any, never say never, that's the truth, has never reported ever hurting anybody. They've never killed anybody. They never brought down ships, boats, nothing. So it's sort of a moot point. It's in the lake, so it must be protecting us from something if it's not hurting us.
Okay, well, and here's the question: since when do whales live in freshwater lakes? But
Good point.
But I guess Loch Ness actually opens out, and there are whales that will come in into Loch Ness, apparently.
Oh, I don't have that much knowledge. I don't know. No, I don't need to know. Right.
There was the question on if you've ever visited a crop circle, and if so, could you feel the energy, alien. Wow.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I've seen them, and I do believe that there's some truth to some of that too. I think a lot of people have.
A lot are man-made on purpose.
Yeah, and they figured out how to do it very well. But the ones that they can use and detect energy from, or it's a Geiger type thing that they use. And it will report energy, and the man-made ones don't have that energy in them, right? And it's the same thing with fairy circles. Start watching for fairy circles now that, once the snow is gone, the mushrooms start coming up, and, fairy circles, you can feel energy from them too when you're around them. Just don't take your lawnmower over it, Melissa. So
you may not know somebody who did that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I know there were some other questions.
See, somebody that's just tuned in for the first time on this I can't even imagine what they're thinking right now.
All sorts of.
It makes me feel badly. So,
have you ever visited a crop circle and sensed there's the alienage? Ohio's had a few. Here in Miamisburg, we have one near the Serpent
Mound, right? And I've been to the mound.
What'd you feel from?
There is energy there. I don't know if it's because of the way everything is, built up, and if that's where the energy is coming from, if it's drawing energy or if it's energy from when it was. I don't know. There's just definitely energy there, though. And they're all over the world. They're not just in the United States. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm. There's so many. You can go down a long rabbit hole on that if you get to researching.
Yes.
Um, let's see. Michelle says, my first time on. It's entertaining. I did think this was more about spirits. It usually is.
Yeah. This is definitely off the beaten track. Believe me. I mean, this has been, how long have we been doing this? This is the first time we've ever talked about something like this.
A couple years now. Started in COVID, I believe. We were
Yeah. So this is, no. I guess weird things happen and people have a right to know, but this isn't comfortable. So go ahead, let's find something else.
Sometimes we have to, break out of the mold. Let's see. So the thing is, Michelle, Marianne is not a medium, and it's not like giving readings. Marianne sees earthbound spirits that are in your home, which she can't do through this platform today. You can see us, we can't see you. So that requires one of the Zoom sessions. This is more of get questions about earthbound spirits, negative energy, aliens, portals, things like that. Difference between earthbounds and those that have crossed over, guides. So can't tell you if you've got somebody hanging out with you.
Now on a Zoom, if you're calling from where you think, if you come on Zoom from where you think the problem is, I can tell you if there is somebody in your house, negative energy, a portal, if it's a man or a woman, about how old they are, depending on what time of the month we do this, and if there's a full moon, or sometimes the energy is a little stronger and I can get more information. But I think the Zoom has helped so many people. I really think that, I can't even tell you. We've been doing the Zoom for 3 years already.
Really? Oh, so we've been doing this for the 3 years, because I think we started this first, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. But I've got, 2.5 years, because I've got stuff that's not quite 3. So, no, it's been, but so, like I said, if that's something you want to know, you need to come on Zoom. Or, you can call from the house and leave a message and I'll call you back. I'm running, it's better. It's about 4 weeks out now, 3.5, 4 weeks out. So it's a lot better than waiting 6 weeks. So,
yeah, see, like Amy and Renee. Brooke is trying to help us get back on track here, because she asked up here. I was
to that. No.
Says, "What's the most famous ghost you've ever met?"
So I'm not going to remember her name again. I just know her stage name. I think the most famous person I've met was what's Victoria Barkley's real name? Miss Barbara Stanwyck. I met her on the lot of Ghost Whisperer. And boy, she's a feisty little thing. But I could only remember her as from the Big Valley as.
Oh.
That's how I remembered her. But I've seen I have seen famous people, but I didn't know they were famous until somebody told me, because there were a lot of old movie actors, there's stump people like that. So, but no, I've done more work for more A-listers than meeting the A-listers dead. Let's put it that way.
So if somebody called and left you a message but never got a call back, what should they do?
If you don't get a call back in 6 weeks, call again. This time, call from the property, but go outside and stand on your front steps, your back steps. Stand very close to the house when you leave it. If you have earthbound spirits in the house, a lot of times they do not want me to get the message, and I never get the message. It's garbled, and I have a regular phone, no caller ID, so I can't tell anybody who's calling. It's just either I'm in the room and I pick it up, or I listen to voicemail. So if I don't hear you, I can't see you. So try that. And if all else fails, write. I, you
Mm.
know, just a couple of times I haven't gotten letters, but write. That way for sure I'll get it.
So Kate has an interesting question. It says, years ago in Canada, we found a circle of large trees energy. My friend disappeared for a moment. Would this be more fairies or like Native American? So giant trees
I,
instead of mushrooms.
yeah, I don't know about the trees. I've never felt any, I mean, I think when you walk in woods, you get the energy from nature itself, but I've never paid any attention to a stand of trees being in a circle like that. Interesting. Um, I don't know.
Um, Melanie wants to know when you're going to write another book.
As soon as some company says they're buying again from people other than Stephen King,
Or James Patterson.
yeah, they're just ever since COVID. And the one that does the fiction series, Random House, there's a new editor, or there's a different editor from the one that bought my other books, and she thinks my books are stupid and she won't do anymore. But editors don't last very long, right? So I figure another editor will be there soon enough, and I'll just read, you know.
When I finally have downtime, I'm going to look into this whole self-publishing thing, and we'll just skip them. We'll do our own thing. I just need to get rid of this bad habit of needing sleep, and I could get so much more done.
That or clone yourself, so there's two of you.
Four. I think four would do me well. Four would do me really well.
No, I look at the house and the basket of laundry, and I think I don't need to clone myself. I need a mother to come and take care of the house.
Right.
Mom used to do that.
Right. Amy says, my whole family has had off-planet beings come to them, some nice, some not so nice. And growing up in Blackwoods, Oregon, I can tell you Bigfoot is definitely real. Once you smell them, you'll never forget.
I have no doubt that he's not real. I really do believe that there's something to that. Absolutely. And you're in one of those far off states that are pretty wide open. I mean, you've got, cities that are bustling, but there's a lot of area in Oregon that's pretty wide open, and that would be perfect.
Let's see. Yeah, it was like self-publish. Denise says, I still have 2 of your books from the library. I already got a notice. I think I'm going to keep them and just pay. If anybody needs books and you can't find them in your library, contact me. I keep them all the time because of Marianne's events. Sometimes the website will say that it's out of stock because I'll pull them and then we'll go to an event and I'll forget to put them back in stock. Just reach out. I've even shipped
any library that you go to, if they don't have the books and they tell you that they are out of stock or they're not being reprinted anymore, they're lying. All of my books are still available. There are none that are discontinued. So
Right.
they're just too lazy to order the book at the library.
Yeah. And if you want a copy, come through me or
Go
even
through,
Marianne,
yeah.
maybe, but we'll get you autographed too before we send it out in the mail. So
Absolutely.
well, Amanda has a good point. Said a lot of editors turn down Harry Potter. What do they know?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. When they contacted me after 10 years of When Ghosts Speak, that they wanted to do an audio book, I said, "What? The book's been out for 10 years. Are you crazy? who is going to want to even buy this? And I was shocked that, audio is done very well on audio too. So, but there, it's available. It's definitely available.
Um, Eugene is asking, do we have any meet and greets coming up? We'd really like to meet you. Right now, we've got the Madison Seminary in June, but that's a paid event. But I guess we need to put you on the books for being, well, the book group.
Yeah, but we are discussing the book.
You could come early.
No, you cannot come early. We are discussing the
Come
book.
early. You could come early.
Yeah, and it won't be like it was in Strongsville, where I'm trapped in a corner with the podium. It's going to be worked around a little bit different, because we would be done, and then there'd be a line out the door. I just need to ask you one question. No, we'll set something up in the store. We'll do a meet and greet at the store,
Okay.
or where we're going to hold the book club, because we can even do a talk there.
Right. Yeah, because we can get more people over there. I got a lot more.
Yeah, so we'll be doing something. We haven't done anything once since.
Was it November, December?
Yeah, we haven't done anything this year at all yet.
I don't remember last week.
I don't remember either. I think it was December we did it right around Christmas.
So yeah, we'll talk about that when we go off the air.
Yeah.
Let's see. Son, where's the other one? So many questions now. Request wanting us to come to Oregon.
Oh, right. Okay.
We need the traveling tour bus.
Here we go, all the way to Oregon. Great. Now you have to understand, my daughter lives in California. When's the last time we were in California, Ted?
Yeah, a long time.
It's been a while, so probably not happening anytime soon.
I feel bad.
I know.
Oh, here it is. Amanda says, any truth about Stonehenge? I was there and felt no energy. Maybe it was just her.
I don't know. I've never been to Stonehenge, so I can't say what I would feel when I go. I think there's so much truth, though. How did that aliens probably did do it? But then you look at the pyramids, and how did they build those? And I'm sure aliens didn't build the pyramids. So I don't know.
And have you ever came across a car accident and helped somebody cross over?
Yes. And more than just on the Ghost Whisperer. That's how Jim died. So no, not like that. But yeah, I've especially when I do work for the State Highway Patrol, and they had called me up like 2:00 in the morning. It was a foggy night. They wanted to know if I could come out. And I said, yeah. And so Ted took me out, and the man and the baby were dead. They were spirits standing there. Another car was involved, and the State Highway Patrol didn't know who was at fault. And the man that was dead, young man, like 30, 32 years old, he said, I fell asleep. I can't believe I fell asleep. So I could at least tell them that it was him that the accident was caused by. And then it was so weird, because if you hold a baby like this, the head's here and the feet are here.
Mm-hmm.
There was this baby about 6 months old being held like that by somebody. The baby was just in the air with nobody around the baby. Oh. And I said, who's holding the baby? He said, that's my grandma. So she had crossed over, and she was there holding the baby. She was going to take the baby. His wife and his other child were on life support in the hospital. It was a bad accident. So, but yeah, I have seen spirits at crash sites, especially if the State Highway Patrol call.
So sad.
It is. And
Well, on a more fun note, have you ever met spirits of giants? Since there's so many legends of giants.
Never saw a giant or a dinosaur spirit either before. You ask Melissa.
What about dragons?
No dragons either. I've never,
You
never
don't see
seen.
any of the fun things.
No, I don't. Oh no, 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 no. The fun stuff at all. I mean, I see regular critters and raccoons and moose and snakes and dogs and cats and a hedgehog, but I've never seen a giant. I don't know what I'd do if I saw something like that.
Well, I think those would maybe be, instead of seeing the spirits, it's more of like the fairy realm. They're like another dimension. So I'm sure they don't.
And they could exist too, just because I've never seen one. Like you say, never say never.
Right. Right. What about mermaids? Question from Instagram. Have you?
I bet you there are mermaids and mermen. I think there's too many people that were sailors and water people and fishermen. They can't all be wrong and they can't all be drunk. So no, I think they're seeing something.
Or whale penises.
Yeah. No. Stop.
Bringing it back.
No.
Well, in our fun, we're actually over 11, so I hope you're not late for something.
Oh yeah, we're done. We're done today. Nobody's ever going to tune in again after today. Not without the R rating.
We didn't scare away too many new people. So the next Zoom will be in, let's see, May
13th, Friday the 13th.
I was switching tabs. So yes, Friday night. It is. It does start at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you adjust accordingly if you are not the same time zone. We keep that limited to 25 people. It is $20 to participate, but it's much cheaper than having Mary Ann drive out to your house. And especially if you're out of town and you can't come see her anyway. Everybody gets to ask the 2 questions. We go until everybody is done. We try to do new people first. What else? We got the book club May 17th.
Yep.
In store, here's the book.
And that'll be every Tuesday, the 3rd Tuesday of every month. So, and Ted will bring stuff from the store. So if you need charms or anything like that, they will be there too.
Okay. Brooke says not barely PG. So this will be the first book. We have it available on our website and in store, so you can pick it up that way. If you are not in the area, but you still want to participate, we will be putting up a Zoom link, and you can send in questions early, and we'll ask. So you may not be able to participate like the people that are there in person, but we will read your questions. You'll be able to hear. You guys could actually talk amongst one another on Zoom about the book. But we're going to put that link up a little closer because we don't want people to get confused with the Zoom link for the in-house session. Right. Yeah.
Right. So. And keep this in mind. If you've read a good book that you think other people would enjoy, let Melissa or I know. I mean, this is a book a month. That's, 12 books in a year. So we need to, the first couple ones, Melissa and I are sort of picking, but we need suggestions so that, and make sure they're woo-woo books. I mean, we don't want to do, G is for ghost. We don't want to do that for, what's her name? Grafton?
Yes. Grafton, right.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
This is one that I was thinking maybe for the second. Ian's going to kind of look at one, but for all of our ghost people, A Walk in the Shadows overshadow people. So this is a suggestion for the next after.
Right.
But we're still taking suggestions. I do have this one in the store because I met this guy. So if you're local and you want one, we do already have it in the store in case we don't pick that one. Yeah. But we have Madison Seminary in June. There are 2 time slots. There's the 5 to 8 if you rather not be out and about after too long after dark or driving around after dark. And then we have our 10 to 1 a.m. So there's 2 time slots you get to pick and join us. We have a whole huge building. We have the whole building to run amok in. We did move merry-go-round from May 1st to October 9th to give more time to sign up and to have more fun. And imagine all of those ghosts out there in October.
Yeah, they. Oh yeah, because it's October. There'll be more.
Of course. And there's always more at night. We all know this.
Right.
Google
Right.
told me.
That's right. Yeah, I mean that's why ghost bust a house in the middle of the night because that's when they come out.
Right.
But we won't go there either. So
Where will I post the link for the book club? I will definitely have it here for you guys to get. It will be on the website. We'll put it up on all of our other socials, Facebook, Instagram, all of the things. Just so we're going to try and make it as easy for you to find as possible.
if Renee's still on here, you hear this, Renee. Are any of your books or your husband's books, do they fall into this category? Let us know.
Right.
I'm not sure. I know they both write, but I'm not exactly sure what their subjects are.
genres.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, what else do we have coming up? With your 5:30 video tonight is again what?
It's questions tonight. Like I said, one was asked today, but questions, and there's and I found pictures, and the one next Wednesday is definitely going to be ghost pictures.
Okay.
So, yeah, but today is questions, a couple cursed letters. Interesting enough. So
There we go. All right. Well, I think that's all of our.
I think we're definitely done for the day. No doubt about it.
Oh, I think everybody had a good time. A lot of, people laughing all day. So it's good.
Yeah, starts the day off on a weird note.
I brought my feisty pants today.
There you go.
All right, everybody.
Okay, everybody, have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.